Welcome back. All right, so we got 6 games in the National Hockey League tomorrow. When he knows that I'm talking to the camera, he doesn't want me to hold him. There you go. Because every now and then people are like, why don't you pat him? Because he knows, he's like, you're working. Nothing to do, you're working. All right, so 6 games tomorrow starting at noon Eastern, which is 9 in the morning my time. Thanks, NHL scheduling on Easter, too. Thanks. So, 12, 22, and 5 is the record for Detroit. Don't let the record fool you. If you do not come out and play a full 60 minutes, they can beat you. Tampa Bay, they escaped with a win today. They're 26-9-2. We'll see what they do tomorrow. Tampa Bay has won 4 out of 5 against Detroit. So, Anthony Mantha, 10 goals, 8 assists. I'm waiting for a goal run by Mantha. I know the talent is there. Adam Ernie sets a new career high in goals with 8. He has 8 goals and 4 assists now on the season. Not too shabby. Pat Maroon, who I mistakenly wrote on the board as Bogosian tonight. I don't even know where that came from. Must have been something in my brain from last year. 4 goals and 11 assists for Maroon, including that 11th assist tonight. Not Bogosian. Coleman, 7 goals and 10 assists. Good depth forward for them. And, agitator, he does kind of a little bit of everything. He's been a fantastic pickup for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Then at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, meaning this game starts after this one's ended. This will get its own video. Odds are there'll be some own videos for a couple of these other games as well, including Washington at New Jersey. And it's the last meeting between these teams this year unless they meet in the playoffs, which I think most New Jersey fans would be okay with me saying it's not going to happen. Washington's 24-9-4. New Jersey's 13-16-6. New Jersey's showing a lot of fight, though. New Jersey's not going down without a fight, and so when we get to the power rankings after this video, don't be surprised when New Jersey's surprisingly high, because they are playing very well against pretty good teams. So while Washington's beaten them 7 times, they really have to bring their A game to make it 8 straight. Sprong, 7 goals, 5 assists. Unexpected production from Sprong has made him more valuable than other veterans in the lineup and has pushed other veterans around a little bit. Nick Dowd, 7 goals, 2 assists. Kind of a surprise to see Dowd with 7 goals as well. And so we'll see which of their depth forwards comes up with a goal tomorrow. I went with 2 guys with 7 goals on the New Jersey side as well. Sharon Govich, 7 goals, 5 assists. Again, if you don't watch the Devils, those 12 points by Sharon Govich, you may not look and say that they're all that impressive, but he's very noticeable. He's very good out there. Zaka, 7 goals and 12 assists. Had a nice streak. Be nice for New Jersey fans if he could go on another one. And so he has 19 points on the season. Then at 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific, we've got the Columbus Blue Jackets in against Florida again. And Florida beat them tonight, even though Columbus had a pretty good game. Florida's 24-9-4. They've won 4 out of 5 against the 14-16-8 Columbus Blue Jackets, who, again, and it just, it sounds repetitive, but they could really use going on a run. And a guy who could help would be Patrick Laine, who is stuck on 17 points, 9 goals and 8 assists. He hasn't had a point in a while. He hasn't had a goal in longer than that. So they need something from Laine. And again, every time he's on the ice, I find that my eye gravitates to him. I'm like, where's 29? There's 29. What's he doing? And I guarantee you I'm not the only one. And when you're under that kind of spotlight, right now the results haven't been great. Foligno, 6 goals, 9 assists, 15 points. I wonder what Nick thinks when they're going through all this. Like, for Nick Foligno, he's been a Blue Jacket for a long time. He clearly is, Mr. Blue Jacket, if there is one. And I do wonder how he feels right now and how he feels regarding his future in Columbus, how long he's going to play there, all this stuff. Mackenzie Weegar on the Florida side just continues to have a great year. 3 goals now with 18 assists. Barkov, his return just shows he's one of the best two-way forwards in the game still. 13 goals, 25 assists, 38 points. And excellent season for him. He picks up where he left off. At 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, the Dallas Stars trying to prove they're for real, which I'm trying not to get fooled by this. I really am. But in against Carolina, if they can beat them 2 games in 2 days, that might point to them being legit. Carolina's won 4 out of 5 in this season series so far, so Dallas won the first one tonight. They're 13-12-10 now, whereas Carolina's 24-9-3. So we'll see if Dallas can continue to heat up. Jamie Benn's been a part of that. 7 goals and 11 assists for him. Gurianov, 6 goals, 13 assists for him. They could use more goals from Gurianov than what they've had thus far. Jesper Fast on the Carolina side, 5 goals, 11 assists. Very useful player for them. I think Carolina fans have been happy so far. Sebastian Aho, Carolina fans, of course, are happy with Aho. 15 goals, 18 assists, 33 points. And you still get the feeling we haven't seen the best that Aho has to offer to this stage in his career. That the future, we're going to see 100 points from him at some point in an 82-game season. And maybe, 40 goals? 40 goals sound right? 45? Then at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. So these games are all nicely spread out. Toronto's in against Calgary. So why would we be wearing Calgary? Well, I like to wear the Blasty jersey for one. And for two, Calgary really needs to win a game. They're flirting with completely falling out to the point where Montreal doesn't really need to worry about playing well or anything because nobody else is going to catch them. Vancouver's down for weeks now. So it's up to Calgary because Ottawa's too far behind. So it's either Calgary or, that spot's by default going to Montreal. And again, I know people are going to say, well, obviously Montreal's going to get it. I know, but still it's interesting and it's nice to have a little bit of intrigue. Just a little bit. Can I be granted? I can't be granted that. All right. So 9 o'clock Eastern, 24-10-3 Toronto in against 16-19-3 Calgary. Toronto's won 4-6 in this season series thus far. Zach Hyman, 12 goals, 12 assists. They had a debate on TSN about whether or not Zach Hyman belongs on Team Canada. And right away I thought, no, I don't think so. But we'll see. I mean, I guess it depends where he'd end up. I think the fact that Austin Matthews would be on the American team I think that kind of hurts his stock a little bit because that's where the chemistry is, and obviously you're not going to have Matthews playing on Team Canada. So anyways, let me know in the comments if you think that he belongs on Team Canada. I think it's an interesting conversation to have. The other interesting conversation to have is, aren't they in Beijing, and Canada and China aren't exactly getting along right now? Anyways, that's a whole other conversation. Morgan Riley, 3 goals, 23 assists, because I've been hearing all these countries, who's going to play for the Olympics, and I'm thinking, well, what if there's boycotts? Because I'm old enough to remember 1980 and 1984, so I'm old enough to remember when this was actually a thing and countries would boycott Olympics. I think there's so much money tied up now, maybe it doesn't happen, but... So Morgan Riley, 3 goals, 23 assists on the blue line. On the Calgary side, Johnny Gaudreau needs to start really proving he can be the franchise guy. And I don't know how fair it is, but we're there. 13 goals, 14 assists. I would think if Calgary has a mediocre season, they miss, and if they look bad in doing it, that maybe finally Brad Treliving will have to change the core. This was a rumor in the last offseason, and then it didn't happen. And so you have to think it's going to change. And I know they brought in Markstrom, but that's not what we were talking about. We were talking about the forwards, whether that's what was going to change there. Kachuk's not going anywhere. Dubé, 7 goals, 9 assists for him. Good depth scorer. They could use more from their depth and just a more consistent 60-minute game from Calgary. Then at 9 Eastern as well, 6 o'clock Pacific, Arizona's in against Anaheim. Arizona's 17-15-5. They have the 4th and final playoff spot in the West. And as crazy as that sounds, it's where we're at now. And if they can beat Anaheim, which they've been pretty good at doing this year in their final meeting with Anaheim, who are 11-21-6, they get themselves into an even better position to make it. So they've won 5 out of 7 against the Ducks. They can make it 6 out of 8. Yeah, they're in pretty good shape. Clayton Keller, 11 goals, 17 assists, has been very prominent for them. Derek Brassard, the scoring's been up and down, but I think he's been very useful for them. 7 goals, 8 assists, very good veteran presence out there. On the Anaheim side, Comtois, 10 goals, 12 assists. I've got Volkov on the board with 4 goals and 2 assists because that 4th goal was in his first game as a Duck. He's going to his second game as a Duck. They're line mates. Are we going to see them combined for another goal? And so there's some interesting storylines here if you're a Ducks fan. We'll see what happens. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about who you think will win these games. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.